Alright, so when you guys go to the mall and there's so many stores that you're looking through, you know, you go through the windows and there's that fancy Coach bag that you want, maybe that new smartphone that's out, you know, but I know for me, I always tend to blow my money on food. So, hence why I have this fabulous shape. You know, it's, you tend to, for me, I tend to, whenever I have extra money, I love spending on my friends, you know, going out for a nice meal. And with this quote, we could tell our values by looking at our checkbook stubs by Steinem. Kind of how I took it as is basically saying that, you know, you could tell the value of your life based on how you know, you value your life, how you treat your friends and such. So I'll basically going over how it can affect the different aspects, like your friends, your dating aspect, and your personal life as well. So with your friends, you know, like I said, I love to go out with my friends. If I ever have extra money, which was rarely ever, I like to buy my friends gifts, take them out for meals. You know, that's my definition of a good time. And as for dating, on the other hand, I know that when I go out, well, if I ever have a date, not that I'm trying to depreciate myself or whatever, but anyways, when you go on a date, you know, or like you have your boyfriend or girlfriend, I like to spend time with them. You know, I love to have good laughs, meals. I don't really care about, you know, them buying me nice jewelry or they buy me food. That's always a plus. So, you know, I don't need the nice things. I love spending the time with them and watching a movie and just, you know, just kicking back and having a good time. And, you know, as for your personal life, you know, and I'm not saying, I don't judge anyone, you know, for buying that Coach purse or the smartphone or whatever, but I know I love to travel. I love to just take my camera out, go to LA and just, you know, take random pictures. I like more of the experience aspect of things. So, you know, like I said, you know, there's the dating and the friend and the personal aspect of things, and it really comes down to, you know, what you value in life. And, you know, there's, like I said, nothing wrong with buying the nice things for yourself. Everyone deserves it, of course. But, you know, another one of my favorite quotes is, you know, you gotta kind of stop and look around and things will, you know, pass you by before you know it. So, thank you.
Awesome.
Good job. Thank you.
That's good together.
All right, I think you've got a good idea for the topic, but it stays a little bit more abstract than you want it to. I think you could probably simplify it a bit and make it work for you more effectively. There is a setup of a structure that you're going to be talking about, although during the body of the speech it doesn't really sound like you stick much to that structure, except in a very generic way. The examples give you enough to talk about. I think that there's some interesting points that you're making there. There are some places where I think you could use a little bit more detail or an individual story or two so that we get a chance to understand you a little bit better. But in general, the content develops reasonably well. The presentation, I think, is pretty solid from the beginning. You're easy to hear. You've got lots of personality in your voice at the start. Everything flows together. I did make a mention here at one point that you might want to pay attention to the you-knows. I didn't count them, but there were a few of them, and that's one of those things. You kind of have to strangle them as a way to cut them off. And you know, it's when you start noticing them and you pay attention to them that you get out of that habit. And there are a lot of words like that. That just happens to be the one that I noticed when you were speaking. Let's see. Gestures. There's a lot of engagement in the introduction. There's some counting as you go along. Those are fine. You look very engaged while you were speaking to the audience, talking to us. Very solid eye contact. At the end, you kind of came up with that other quote, and I think that that's reasonable, but you need to kind of tie it back in with the theme that you started with, and I'm not sure how it all fits together, but it did give you a little bit of grace as you're finishing up. Thank you.